Yeah, I kind of want to talk about the Miami Dolphins real quick, and Mike, you can tell us more because you live in Miami. Who deserves more to blame this week? Because I feel like anybody who's paid attention to the Dolphins this season, especially these last couple of weeks, no, we saw this shit coming. There was no part of me, no matter how much the Chiefs were struggling, that I actually think that Tua and them was gonna come into Arrowhead in that crazy weather and win this football game. Who's more to blame here? Is it Tua? Is it a Mike McDaniel? Mikey, what's your opinion? And really, what are they saying in Miami? What is Streets Miami saying right now?
Well, let's go back to what we were saying in October and early November. We were talking about were the Dolphins just bum killers. So are we really shocked, that the Dolphins really showed us who they were the whole time? If they can't run the ball, then all that motion and shit, it does nothing. It does nothing, especially in those elements. Now I got people hitting my phone talking about, are you guys gonna let Justin Fields, go? Like maybe he can be a Dolphin, and it's just so funny to me how everybody wants to shit on Justin Fields when he's a Bear, but now they want him on their franchise. So
yeah.
I'll just say this: if Justin Fields was somehow to end up on the Dolphins,
there's
so that is ridiculous with the amount of speed on
hey,
that
real
field.
quick,
But
real quick,
yeah,
Mikey, before, cause I agree with you, and I know y'all said he was talking out his ass, but Mel Kiper mentioned the Dolphins as one of those teams that would be interested in Justin Fields. But go ahead.
Oh no, that would be that would be something that's fucking lights out, to be honest. Because you got to look at it. I don't think they believe that Tua is the long-term answer at quarterback. Obviously, there's durability concerns. Even if you take Justin Fields into that game at Arrowhead on Saturday night, he at least has a strong enough arm to push it through the elements. Tua has a fucking noodle. Pause. So I don't think you could win with Tua long term. And let's be honest with the Dolphins, and let's give them everything. They lost Bradley Chubb. They lost Phillips. They were really banged up on defense.
Yeah.
They were really banged up on defense. So I think it's just gonna have to be an adjustment. Mike McDaniel, I like where he's ascending as a play caller and as an offensive coach, but they need a little bit more out of their quarterback for when it comes down to it. And at the end of the day, this was all self-inflicted because they should have no business losing that game to the Titans. They had no business losing to the Titans on Monday Night Football, and that's basically the difference of hosting a game and playing on the road where it's fucking negative 15 degrees.
Yeah. I think, I'm gonna go to Bang right after this. I just want to say this about Tua, and this is why I'm not gonna put too much blame on Tua. And it's not Tua is who he is, bro. Like I said, when we talk about the quarterback conversation, we gotta know what these guys are. Tua he's good in certain situations. There was no chance this nigga was ever going to win that game. We know he's not that good of a deep passer. We know that, Jalen Waddle was hobbled. We know that defense wasn't what it was because of the injuries. And the Chiefs defense is a really good unit, the best unit I've seen in the Patrick Mahomes era. And I just didn't expect him to do that. I'm blaming more on Mike McDaniel because I don't feel like the plays were there to help Tua enough. And even though we know Tua doesn't have the best arm sometimes you just got to say fuck it when your season's on the line. Like there was a lot of play calls that Mike McDaniel had that he was calling like the season went on the line. And that was something too we're also going to talk about with Detroit in a minute in the LA game. I feel like Sean McVay did a little bit of that too, where it's like you got to be more aggressive when the season is on the line. And he didn't do the best job to me of putting Tua in the best position to win. So I would put more of the blame on McDaniels more than Tua. Bang, what you think about that?
I don't know, but these motherfuckers better not have fumbled again.
Why do you have money on the Steelers?
I ain't got money on the Steelers.
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying they might have fumbled again. Like just fall down with the ball. God damn. But nah, man. I don't know. And the reason why I say I don't know is because it's one of those situations, just like with Justin Fields. I think Tua is a capable quarterback. And there's some things that you just need to do in order to make sure that your quarterback is good. But I also believe that they had not one goddamn chance to win in Kansas City with that weather. They are a warm climate team. So I don't want to overthink this game right here because the elements, like if this happened in Miami, or if the weather was nice, I think it's a different conversation. With that being said, Mikey just threw me all the way off. I mean, not Mikey, excuse me. Dante just threw me all the way off with that Justin Fields to, Miami should look at Justin Fields shit. The reason why it throws me all the way off because, they make you believe that anybody in the Miami organization, including Kyle Shanahan, did not want to touch Justin Fields when he was available to get picked instead of Trey Lance. But now more than the Niners. Yeah. But what I'm saying is they make you believe that nobody wanted to be a part of getting him when he was available and they drafted Trey Lance. However, it just feels like to me that everybody in that organization that leaves is almost like, or that type of offense is like, oh, let's see if we could go get Justin Fields. So that's why that threw me off. Was like, wait a minute, I thought people didn't necessarily want to touch him because of the offense, but now you want to bring him in. That just threw me all the way off when you said that. But I don't want to back the Tua. I'm not blaming Tua for a cold ass game in the situation that he's in, especially when some of your wide receivers was dropping passes and shit too. Like, I'm not about to blame you for that.
Courtney, are you shooting Tua any bill, or who on this side?
Beyond my Bama loyalty, I will have to say that Tua is not in the best situation, right? When you get like 2.5 seconds to throw the ball, you're in a one-read offense because you don't even have time to get a second look. It's not a good situation. It's also not a good situation when you run the ball 18 times and Raheem Mostert is getting you maybe 4 yards per carry. It's not a good situation. As far as what they should do next, I don't think Tua is the long-term solution, but I also know that Mike McDaniel loves Tua. Does he love him enough to put his own neck out there? Hell no. But I do think that that's the pairing we're going to see for at least another season, at least another 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think that I don't think they're moving off of Tua. I feel like they have too much invested in him. I think that, this is something where they're going to have to, I think they're at least going to ride out for at least another year and see what they got. But it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing in the NFL surprises me when people move on from quarterbacks. But I don't think they're ready to move on just yet. And I even think
going to get rid of another black head coach. That's crazy.
Exactly. And it's like, Mike, it's kind of like what you said too about the defensive injuries they had. That's something also that the front office might be like, okay, well, we didn't have our full complement of guys either. Dante, did you have a take on this, or we can move on to the next?
No, man, it was fucking freezing out there. Like, it was really nothing that Tua was going to be able to do. As much as you hate to say that, because Pat Mahomes also had to play in those conditions. But, at the end of the day, with that offense, a real gimmicky offense, you knew that in that type of weather, they were going to be slowed down. The timing was going to be thrown off. So it was set up for them to fail. So I don't really want to play the blame game here. I just think that as a team, and Mike McDaniel wouldn't want to play the blame game because he's going to take half of the responsibility himself. But we've seen about the way that team does business. They all know they fucked up that game. That's on everybody.
That paper on this player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not